Okay, everyone, I'm back and we're going deeper into the Dark Ice Mines, and it just becomes a question of, what's next?
Fox! I lost you in the blizzard! Some sharpclaws found me and threw me in that stinky cell!
Huh, you don't say. Maybe if you hadn't run ahead. Right, the text doesn't advance itself. Okay, what are we looking at here? Ooh, oh, hello. Useless ice snakes. Or are they snow snakes? Ah! I hate you, and I'm very annoyed that he took so much health off of me and then didn't give me any health in return. It's ridiculous. It's fun hearing Tricky say, cool, every single time I use that, the rocket boost. Okay, I must be missing something here. Okay, you get out of here. What can I do here? Anything? How much you want to bet this is freezy water? Yep, that's freezy water, alright. Can I jump up onto this? No, I cannot. The ledge is incorrect for it. Man, I'm taking a lot of damage. I'm not really seeing anything that I can do here. Maybe that climb spot? No. Okay, I'm not allowed to climb up on this. Can't climb up on that. And I don't think I can afford to fall into the water again. So, let's go back a little bit. First off, I want to make doubly certain that I didn't forget anything, but second of all, there's a lot of health just sitting around in this back chamber here. Oh look, I can actually see the rocks that fell in the sequence. With, what's her name, Belina Tay? I couldn't see any of the rocks during the you know, the cutscene, but the minute I'm not in a cutscene, I can see just fine. You know what I find hard to believe? There is so much love and care put into the litany of animations in this game, like Fox's running cycle, the way that his tail swings back and forth and everything. There's a lot of attention to the animation in this game. You know, Rare did a great job on, like, making this game look good. This is a fantastic game for 2002. And what really sticks with me on that front is the fact that this game came out the same year as Morrowind. Ooh, I may have jumped that a little bit fast. Don't... Okay, I didn't light on fire. I'm happy for it. Would've... It's not great to get lit on fire, specifically when you backtracked for a little bit of extra health. Man, so it's wild to imagine that this game came out at the same time that Morrowind did. And I can't remember if Morrowind was a... Oh man, the respawn speed on this game is a bit annoying. It's just hard to believe that Morrowind came out at the same time as this game. And I don't remember if Morrowind released on the original Xbox, alongside its PC release. For some reason, I feel like Morrowind came out on, PC first, and then it, like, followed on the Xbox, like, I don't know, a year later. I don't actually know for certain. I've never truly owned an Xbox, so... Okay, so I can't knock those down to get across the water. What am I missing? What am I supposed to do for that matter? Oh, hey, look. Okay, so I am supposed to get to the end of the river, probably via a bunch of ice floats. It just becomes a question of how I do that. I have to be able to... It's probably the switch down here. But how do I reach that switch? What am I missing? You know what? Let's talk to Slippy. Did Tricky find that hidden tunnel into the back of Belina's prison cell? And to cross that cold river, you need to aim your fire blaster at the roof of the cave. You did all that. You did all that yet? Okay, yeah, so just, I guess it's these other differently colored stalactites? Okay, yeah, that does the job. That, I cannot, ugh, I hate aiming with a joystick, and also there's like a limitation to how much you can rotate your view. I can't see through the plant now. It's fine. It's just wild to me to look at this game and be like, man, look at how amazing those fur graphics are, and then like they're not equal, right? Like, this game is not equal to Morrowind. Morrowind is not equal to this game. They were aiming to do different things. It's not fair to really compare them. All right, what does this do? Ah, okay, there you go. There was an iron gate to lower. That works. And that'll get me to the end of the waterfall. But it's not fair to compare this game to Morrowind and to compare Morrowind to this game, because they were made by totally different people. They were trying to do different things. They had different limitations. I would never imagine that Morrowind was trying to be an adventure game, and I would never imagine that Star Fox Adventures was trying to be an RPG, right? There's a huge difference there. But it's just fascinating to look at the two games, realize that they released in the same year, and see what they were capable of achieving with a different set of requirements, or like goals, essentially. I look at this game, and it is visually stunning. Even though it is dated, the visuals, to a pretty good degree, they still hold up. Like, Fox still looks really amazing, and the animations are noteworthy. They're good. Meanwhile, you go and you look at Morrowind, and, like, they didn't really put anything into that game for character animations. They have basic character animations that, you know, there was no dialogue in Morrowind. It was all, you know, text-based. So, leave me alone. So to sit here and look at this with this game, with its significantly smaller scope, you know, for everything that Bethesda didn't do. Oh, really? I'm probably not going to be able to get on the... Yep, they won't let me get on the ice float. That's fine. That is fine. Oh, okay. I shouldn't have dropped that extra stalactite. That was a mistake. I should not have done that. But, you know, you look at a game like Morrowind, and it's like, no, all of the work that they put in, it was in the world and your ability to explore. There's no question about that. You know, you ask any, you know, general user or player of games, and they would agree. Like, a Bethesda game is all about, you know, the exploration. That's why you're there, you know. And the intimately designed world is doing its own version of talking with level design, right? Meanwhile, you know, you look at a game like this, significantly less successful, I think. But I think that this is an artistic achievement. I think that this entire game is a noteworthy achievement for the Star Fox franchise, and for Nintendo for that matter, even though Nintendo didn't make the game. You know, it was Rare, second-party titles, etc. A whole story there, again, not necessarily worth sharing or reiterating. But to see it's just the difference. It's the difference of what was capable of being done when you were aiming at different things. And I don't actually know. I think that the least powerful system out of the generation that this came out for, the PlayStation 2 was the least powerful. I think second most powerful was the GameCube, and the third, the least powerful was the PlayStation 2. The second most powerful system was the GameCube, if I remember correctly. Fox, why did you let go? That made no sense. And then the third most powerful, the most powerful system out of the generation was the Xbox, the original Xbox. But, you know, that's just... Power isn't everything, right? Like, power is not everything. In my opinion, I think that the Xbox 360 defined its generation far better than the PlayStation 3, despite the fact that I think statistically the PlayStation 3 sold more and made more money than the Xbox 360. But what I will always remember is that it seemed like the 360 was getting way more games, and they were always better on the 360. And there's a whole story behind why that's the case because of, you know, processor architecture and whatnot. That's a story that's not really worth getting into. I don't know why I broke that crate open. I was expecting there to be a scarab in it, but I was clearly, utterly and completely wrong. Okay, this does not look safe in any way, shape, or form. I don't know that I want to hop. For that matter, what is the industrial purpose of just having a... Like, why would you put a conveyor belt with flame chutes, with flame nozzles, right in the path of egress? It doesn't make any sense. Getting into this area of this wasn't a path of egress before I, you know, made a path, and even then it's not very easily accessible. And let's not forget, what I'm doing right now, the climbing, Sharpclaw can't climb ladders, okay? They can't climb the walls, so that, like, this isn't, they can't get out this way. I'm curious what the idea behind the dangerous setup of this, Alright, you know what? I'm fairly certain that I haven't forgotten anything. So let's, me and my inability to just be like, no, it's fine, we'll just continue going forward, and instead I've got to, like, go back, I've got to check every nook and cranny. I actually blame Bethesda and Morrowind for that. Well, Bethesda and Oblivion is where I started, and then I went back and I played Morrowind, which was a fantastic experience. To this day, I think that Morrowind is the best game that they've ever put out. Skyrim is a close second. Oblivion is the third, in my personal opinion. Again, like, that's just personal opinions. It's not like it's rule and law or something. Alright, let's try not to get lit on fire. And I can immediately fail. Screw hanging out with on the belt. Just wait until the flame jets stop and then hop on the belt, right? That's the smart move. Let's go! Haha! The burning sphincters have nothing on me. Yes, I know that you had too much hot sauce with your tacos. But you know what? It doesn't affect me at all. I can dodge the spray.
Polina!
You made it!
It hasn't been easy. Now where is that spellstone?
My father didn't say exactly where it was, but he knew that General Scales had hidden it somewhere close. Look carefully. I'm sure you and your little friend can find it before they do. Time is short! You must find the spellstone!
Wait a minute. I can find it before they do? That doesn't make any sense. General Scales is the one who supposedly stole the spellstone and has hidden it in the mines. Who is trying to find it, if not me? Who am I trying to beat to find? Like, what is up with that dialogue? It doesn't make any sense. Like, what's going on? Are the Sharpclaw down here trying to, like, collect up the spellstone, which their boss found and hid in the mines away from his own troops? That doesn't make any sense. Okay. I think I'm starting to see at least one or two flaws in the writing. I don't think that there's any legitimate plot holes here. I think that was a flub of the writing. That's what it feels like anyway. You know what? Sharp claws can't climb ladders. Tricky, have fun. You just deal with that guy, okay? Talk about dangerous. Oh no. I'm having a sudden core memory return to me. I remember this section. And what I remember about it is that it was absolutely... yeah, okay. Annoying, to say the least. Not fun is another way to phrase it. Why are they hucking explosive barrels down this ramp at a fuel cell spawning? Like, why did they place a fuel cell spawning location right next to, at the bottom of a ramp, mind you? So it's like, okay, let's put the spawning station for the fuel cell at the bottom of the ramp. Okay, Why are we putting it at the bottom of the ramp and not at, like, the top of the ramp? This is an important question. Second of all, why are you trying to dispose of barrels down this ramp? Why are the barrels themselves explosive? Shouldn't you, like, be completely emptying them of their nasty whatever contents? That seems to, that would be the most sensible thing to do, I think? What do they want me to do with this thing anyway? Ooh, what's that over there? I'm not... No? Okay. Okay, I can't take a barrel up a ladder. Ooh, what's this? Well, that's a barrel icon. So am I supposed to just place that there? Okay, nothing happened. What do they want me to do with it? Hello? What about this spot back here? This looks like it's supposed to go somewhere. Hello? No, that's just a flat wall. I guess I can see the conveyor belt wrapping around the wall. Oh god. Oh jeez. No manual camera control. Okay, it's fine. I'll figure it out. So the barrel spot up here must be for something. You know, now that I think about it, I'll go ahead and put this down right here. Oh, come on, Fox. Just get it on the pad, please. Nope, come on. There we go. Okay, it's on the pad. Maybe... Oh, God. I hate this part. Having to walk to the outside... Like, walk where there's no railing to get onto a ladder to climb an enormous distance up. I don't know that this is actually an enormous distance, but that was a cannonball. I don't know that this is an enormous distance, but it certainly feels like it to me. Okay. Alright. This'll transport the barrel up. I'm fine with that. That works. So I've got to grab you and I got to take you somewhere, obviously. There we go. Okay. Okay, Fox. Oh, right. The guy's shooting at me. Let's hope that I don't eat a cannonball and end up losing the barrel and having to do this all over again. I don't think that's where I'm supposed to put this thing. I'm being super apprehensive right now. I'm nervous. Nervous as it can be that I'm gonna, like, lose this barrel. At least they put guardrails over here. Okay, here we go. An explodable wall. Okay. At least I know everything I'm supposed to do now. Can I jump across this? Oh, okay. No? Maybe I need a better run on it. Nope. Okay. I cannot auto-jump. I cannot auto-jump off of this. Actually, this is a detail that I think we've kind of lost now, actually. Ocarina of Time was the first game to have the auto-jump function as a mechanic, where it's like, yeah, there's jumping in the game, but you do not have a jump button. Instead, what you do is you just run at a ledge, and the character will automatically make a jump, you know? So, I know that Ocarina of Time was the first game to do that, released in 1998. Now, if anybody... Or was it 1997? No, I think it was 98. If anybody can bring up an example of a game having auto jump where it's like, yeah, there's no jump button, you just run at the ledge and your character automatically leaps at the right time, right? If there's an example of that happening before Ocarina of Time and anybody knows about it, please tell me. Like, this is one of those things where it's difficult to prove a negative, where it's like, yeah, this is the earliest example of it that I can find, and no other game did it before it. So it's like, well, how do you prove a negative type situation of no other game doing it before? You can't. You straight up can't. The only thing that you can prove is that another game did it before Ocarina of Time. And I'm fairly certain that Nintendo came up with that functionality of a game mechanic before anybody else. So But these days, that's a mechanic that I don't really see at all. Like, all the games give you jump buttons. For some reason, once we moved into the 3D space, a lot of games were like, let's just not have jumping anymore, you know? Because, like, the 2D era of video games, it was all about platforming. It was all about jumping and platforming and leaping and, you know, the woohoo, waha, with the Mario voice. But then we went into 3D, and a lot of games were just like, we're not really going to do jumping anymore. We're not going to do jumping anymore. That didn't mean that there weren't games with a lot of jumping in them. It's just, there were less of them, I think is the best way to phrase it. Okay, we're almost there. Don't catch a cannonball, and just throw the freaking barrel at the right time this time. Actually hit. Alright, cool. Ugh. Okay, I get to go back to the bottom of the tower now. This is lovely and so enjoyable. I've gone up and down this tower twice. I was I was moaning and groaning about the fact that I had to like drag another barrel up here, but it really wasn't so bad. Proof that like your second trip is easier because you know what you're doing, as opposed to the first trip where you are just so clueless. You're navigating, you're trying to figure out what it is that you're supposed to be doing, and probably failing to a decent degree. Alright. Let's get... Ooh, oh, I got close to the edge there. Alright. Oh! Okay, I'm fine, don't worry about me. What is up this track here? Oh my word, don't tell me that this is the snowball track that, that I got stuck on, like in the last episode. It probably is. Yeah, that's, woo! Okay, didn't mean to do that. It's fine. Yeah, that's that spot where I almost fell down. That is where the snowball, jumps the shark, as it were. And it, man. It's where I couldn't find the red button on the red wall, because they blended together way too well. Still annoyed by that one. Okay, what do we have? Oh, lovely! I get to go back to the top of the tower now. Ah, it's through here. Oh, it's an invisible wall. Okay. Ooh, just don't get run over. Man. Maybe that, you know, thinking back to the difference between Morrowind and Star Fox Adventure here, because they came out in the same year. Maybe one of the reasons I love this game so much is because the gameplay is sufficient, okay? Maybe that's really the big thing. The gameplay is sufficient, but the art direction is, in my personal opinion, superb. I love the aesthetics of this game. I love the way that Fox looks and the way that he's animated and all of that stuff. And maybe that's really the reason why it holds a special place in my heart, despite the fact that playing through this, I'm realizing, yeah, the combat and, like, the gameplay is just good. It's just good. It's not amazing. It's not standout. It's not like some hallmark of creativity. And it faced those criticisms whenever it was new, you know? It was like, well, this is just basically, you know, Ocarina of Time. So... And if I'm not mistaken, this was before Wind Waker as well. So there was no, like, GameCube Zelda to compare it to. So... Alright, okay, well, there are X's on these towers here. What is this gonna do? Wait. What? It doesn't make any sense. You have to be kidding me. I shoot little X boards, and then a ramp appears out of that doesn't... How are those two things connected? Okay, I'm putting it out there right now. It feels like the developers didn't know what to do with this section. It was just like, I don't know, make them climb up a tower, and then, like, the thing at the bottom will go. Well, how are they connected? Don't worry about that. I'm done. I've hit a milestone. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.